So people keep asking me if I think they should see this movie. And I'm thinking, yeah, they should see this movie. John Wick is a movie starring Keanu Reeves, who plays the title character of John Wick. He's this guy whose wife passed away and she left him a dog to take care of so that he wouldn't have to grieve alone. He also has a really cool car, and the problem is some Russians actually try to steal his car, and in the process they kill his dog. This is the basic premise that the movie is based on, and you might be thinking, well, that sounds kind of stupid. That's what I thought at first, but actually it's actually surprisingly enough to drive the movie, and it actually does it really well. But anyway, having his dog killed brings him out of retirement, and it turns out that in the past, John Wick was a legendary hitman of the underworld. He tried to leave that life behind, but now because of these Russian assholes that just killed his dog, he has to go back into action. Now, John Wick is a movie that knows what it is and keeps to that formula really well. This is a straight up badass action movie that pulls no punches. It spends the first 20 minutes establishing the story and the backstory of John Wick and why, you know, he has his dog and stuff. But once you get past that, it goes action mode full on and becomes really enjoyable to watch. Now, I've seen Keanu Reeves in a couple of action roles such as Street Kings, which is also pretty good, but he definitely nails it as John Wick. And the movie does a really good job of showing that John Wick is really good. Like, this guy is no joke. He goes into a room, takes out all the guys, all headshots or double taps, reloads his gun, moves on to the next room. But the thing I like about it is, even though he seems unstoppable, there are some competent bad guys in this movie. Now, this is actually something you don't see quite often. I mean, a lot of thugs do just get one shot and just killed before they can do anything in this movie, but some of the bodyguards that have more obviously prominent roles and aren't just, you know, fodder, they actually put up a pretty good fight against John. So even though John Wick is really good, he actually does get beat a couple times in this movie, and I appreciate that because the movie does it in a really convincing way. It's not like, you know, some really cheap stuff happens to him. The bad guys employ tactics, and the action overall is just really satisfying to watch. It's really stylish, it's choreographed really well, it's really good pacing along with the awesome background music that goes on in each action scene, and they're never too far apart and they don't drag on for too long, so you always get just enough action. And you have a little bit of downtime until the next action sequence happens. And it's all progressed by a pretty good story. Speaking of which, while the story does seem a bit shallow, it actually has a lot of backstory to it. At one point, John goes to this hotel and it's apparently the hub of the criminal underworld. And they don't really explain it, but you kind of see it in motion and you see the universe that the movie has established. It kind of makes you want to know more about it. Sadly, you don't get to know that much about the underworld, but it certainly adds an interesting aspect to it and feels a lot more thought out and more fleshed out. So it was definitely interesting to see those elements being put into the story, and it definitely added to the whole experience. Honestly, can't think of anything negative to say about this movie because I really enjoyed it. I did read some reviews before going into it, so I knew it was gonna be good, but I really didn't expect it to be this good. I used to recommend Taken to anyone that was looking for a good action movie. But now I'm also going to recommend John Wick along with Taken. John Wick is the guy that you probably sent to kill Brian Mills from Taken. That's how badass he is. A couple of weeks ago I also watched The Equalizer with Denzel Washington being a badass, but he is not on the level of John Wick. So I would strongly recommend John Wick to anyone looking for a good action movie, and really just anyone looking for a good movie in general. It's just really fun, really entertaining, unless you don't like action or you kind of don't like violence. So do yourself a favor and go see John Wick. And if you have seen it, what do you think about it? Let me know in the comments below. Remember to leave a like, share this video if you really liked it, and I'll see you guys next time.